this tea because it's made from flower and it's very good during summertime. It's lighter, and summertime I like warm tea, not too hot, but still it's easy to drink and cools down the body during summertime. So any flower tea that's made with flower and leaves, are lighter. It cools the body down, cools the heat for summer heat. So I recommend that if you're drinking any tea, some jasmine would be fine. This one is actually made from a combination of flowers from jasmine and also pukonging tea to cool the body. So let me taste it. I like it. It's very good. It's very light. It has this aftertaste of flower, like a sweetness to it, I would say, aftertaste. Okay, so hello and welcome to another episode of Tea Time with me. And summer is here. It's bright outside. It's about 74 or 75 degrees Fahrenheit outside, and I can see people walking around, in my neighborhood here, going to the beach, enjoying themselves. So it's nice. And today my topic is dropping the suitcases of worries and regrets, and some guided meditation or guided mindfulness practice that I like to share with you. And in my office now, I am seeing patients. So during this last few weeks, we are all been following news. We are, being much more aware of this Black Lives Matter movement, and with the COVID-19, I've seen more cases of patients right now experiencing more emotional upheavals or emotional intensity during these uncertain times. And in Chinese medicine, when emotional energy gets stuck in this physical body, sometimes that could show up as sleep problems. Also, like we overthink certain things. And some people, instead of thinking, they could also have a complete avoidance, to not want to face reality. And that's very common too. And emotions that we carry for a long time can get trapped in the body and causes stagnation and impedes the movement of energy. And this can sap vitality and make us feel tired or low in energy as well. And recently I have this lady that has been coming to see me for some time. And let's give her a name. Let's say her name is Susie for privacy's sake. So she came to me for treatment. And before we start, I ask her, and I usually do this before I start with anybody, is to check into her body and do a scan and see where she holds tension. And usually when they do that, they will close their eyes and scan, and after a few moments, they will describe the heaviness or the feeling that they have in their body. So she said to me, hey Sydney, during this time, I've been experiencing a lot of heaviness. And this heaviness is actually, I feel more heaviness here in my chest area. So I said, let's give it a name. This heaviness you feel. Let's see what the name is so that you can put a name to this feeling. And after a moment's pause, she said, this feeling, I think I will have to name it as I have been having some regrets and also worry, because during this COVID-19 shelter at home, I have been thinking a lot, and I have a lot of worries and regrets about the past and worry about the future. I wish I could have done things differently with my family so that I could be in a different place right now. And also, I worry for my children and their lives to come. After hearing this, I then asked, so describe to me from the scale of 1 to 10, how heavy is this feeling? So she answered after a while thinking, if I would rate it from 1 to 10, this heaviness, this feeling, is about 8 on a scale of 1 to 10. So on a scale of 1 to 10, that's pretty heavy. If I take an example of a suitcase, number 1 for 10 pounds, number 5 for 50 pounds, and 8 would be 80 pounds. Do you feel that the number is close to your scale? 8 means 80 pounds. And she said yes, because there are 2 suitcases here. So suitcase number 1 is worry about the future. Suitcase number 2 is regret of the past. So 2 suitcases totaling 80 pounds, 40 each. So very heavy suitcase to carry, right? I know, because I feel like a lot of us do have some suitcase to carry too. And if you think about traveling, when you're traveling overseas, the allowance for the suitcase to check into, let's say, an international flight is about 50 pounds, give and take. So 50 pounds is for international flights, give and take. And if you're carrying 40 pounds each, it'll be 80 pounds total. So that's a lot of worry, and that's a lot of uncertainty, and that's a lot of regrets to carry around, and that's very heavy. I understand that during this uncertain time, I'm sure there are many of us, many of you who feel similarly about these issues, having worry, having some regrets. I feel the need to explore this topic and have a conversation so that there's an increased awareness around this topic, and also to be aware of how that shows up in our body, these 2 emotions. So I have prepared today a mindfulness practice that I want to share with you that you can do every day when these 2 emotions come up. So I call this dropping the suitcase of worries and regret. And before we start, I want you to close your eyes and do a scan. As what I've done in my clinic is I always have you sit in front of me, and then we start with your eyes closed. So start from the top of your head and do a scan. From the top of your head, scan down towards your neck, your chest, your hands, your belly, your thighs, lower legs, and your feet. See where you hold tension. And see if this tension, you can describe how that feels like. Whether this tension is in your neck, in your chest, or in your belly. Once you feel that tension, give it a name. Give it a name. If it's heavy, maybe there's a shape to it. If you're more of a visual person, maybe there's a color to it. And when you give it a name, it becomes less intimidating. So in this case, we can name it, let's say, like what we mentioned earlier, worry. Okay, we worry about certain things, and that feels like tightness in the chest. And when we do have regrets, where do we hold that? Do we hold that in our neck? Do we have the anxiety or feel that in our belly? Do we feel a sense of just a bloating or heaviness when we feel these emotions? So, to help you reduce these 2 emotions of worry and regrets, let's start by taking a moment to relax your body and soften any unnecessary tension in your belly and shoulders. You can kind of shrug your shoulder a little bit. Find a posture that feels both relaxed and alert, and close your eyes. You can close your eyes, so you feel more comfortable. You can look downwards and rest your hands in an easy, effortless way. Take a few moments to scan your awareness. Scan the sensations of your body. And whenever possible, soften and release the obvious areas of this physical tension. And bring this awareness of your body breathing, your chest rising and falling with each breath. And now imagine standing in the street outside of your house with 2 heavy suitcases. And know that one of those suitcases is full of worries about the future. And the other suitcase, know that it is full of regrets about the past. Now take a moment, standing there in the street, holding these 2 heavy suitcases, and reflect about each one. Reflect about the future. Think about the future, how it will come on its own accord whenever it comes, and that most of what we worry about will never happen. And then standing out there in the street, think about the past. Reflect on the past. And the other heavy suitcase. And now consider how the past cannot be changed. All we can do is to be present and to learn from it. Put in whatever corrections that make sense to you. Become more skillful, become a better person, and move on. And standing there in the street, feeling the weight of these 2 suitcases, and absorbing the wisdom of your own reflections right now. Make a conscious decision. Do you want to drop the suitcase of worry about the future? And if so, simply drop it. Simply drop it. Then standing there in the street, with the other suitcase so heavy about the past, make a conscious decision. Do you want to drop it? And if so, just drop it. Just drop it. And as soon as you have dropped the 2 suitcases, walk into your home, take your seat right where you are, and plop down. Just relax, like someone coming home from a long trip, dropping suitcases and just relaxing. Rested in the present, just breathing. Resting in the natural well-being of the parasympathetic nervous system. Resting in the fundamental well-being of awareness itself. Awareness which does not worry or regret. Resting as this is meaningful for you. Allowing yourself to simply rest. Feeling a sense of peace, of joy, of well-being. A natural happiness, always your true home, without carrying heavy suitcases or worries about the future or full of regrets about the past. Simply just rest here in your body right now with total relaxation throughout your body and mind. And then come back. Slowly open your eyes. So, consider the past, like we spoke about earlier on. Consider the past cannot be changed. All we can do is live in the present moment and learn from it. And become more skillful, become a better person, and move on. And simply drop the suitcase. Drop the suitcase of regrets. And don't worry, think about the future, how it will come on its own accord whenever it comes. And that most of what we worry really does not really happen. And simply, again, just drop the suitcase of worries. So try that in your daily life. This mindfulness practice is not about preparing for your future or about what to do, about what not to do, but it is more about staying in the present, preparing now for what may come. And sometimes what we prepare for might not come at all. And sometimes what we prepare might come, but we know that in this present moment, we have prepared for it. So that with each day, you can wake up with the awareness that you have a lighter load to carry. And as more time goes by, your suitcase will become lighter and lighter each day. And you have more time to be present and truly enjoy time with yourself, with your friends and your family, or any of people that you want to spend time with. So, okay, folks, that's it for me today. I hope you have found this practice of mindfulness of dropping the suitcases of worries and regrets helpful for you today. Just again, when we start, there are 3 things I want you to remember. 3 things are check in, scan, see where you hold tension, give the tension a name. And then imagine you're carrying 2 suitcases. One suitcase is a suitcase full of worry. Another suitcase is a suitcase full of regrets. And then as you're standing in the middle of the street, just drop them. Drop one and then drop the other one. Easy, right? Well, we have to try. A lot of things that we program into our daily life is very hard for us to just, master in one day. So always remember that you have every moment is a time to practice dropping that suitcase. When the worry comes up, drop it. When the regrets come up, drop it. And staying in the present moment. So important. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Please do leave me some likes and some comments for this episode. You can leave on the box here in the comment section. And if you're listening here on podcast, please also drop me some review and send me some love and let me know that you have listened to this and you like this episode. Doing this live is a very lonely journey, as I don't know if you like this episode that I'm actually sharing with you, or you don't like it, or you have other suggestions, or that, give me some encouragement so that I can keep on doing this, so that I can help more people like you, and hopefully you can share that too. So thank you again for listening and for watching. Sending you good chi, happy summer, and I'll catch you next time. Thank you and bye for now.